I will leave you with one fun thing on this, right?
Huh.
Sunday, I'm out in my garage. I am actually I'm cleaning up, washing the motorcycle for the first time. I was very happy about washing the bike.
Because it had never been washed either.
That was the other thing that sold me on it. The guy's like, to be honest, man, I've never even washed this bike. I don't even know how to wash a motorcycle. And hearing that was like literally like, I got like turned on. Like it was weird. I was like, wait,
you never heard it.
You haven't washed this bike? And he's like, no. He's like, it just got light dust on it. I hope that's okay. And I said, good God, man, that's like the best thing you could have. That's the best thing you could have ever told me.
You never washed
thank
it.
God. So no hard water, nothing. So needless to say, I gave it a distilled water wash. But this is probably the funniest part of my weekend. Sunday, out in the garage. Guy pulls up in a car, going really slow by my house, looking in my garage, passes me, and then reverses back up, right? Guy gets out of his PT Cruiser, walks over to me, big guy, right? I'm talking probably 6'1", but like an older guy. He's probably in his maybe 60s or whatever it is. Comes out and he's like, hey, how's it going? My name's Jimmy, right? And shakes my hand. And I'm like, oh, COVID, whatever. But shake his hand. I'm like, how's it going? He's like, I'm your neighbor. I'm just right up the street here. I live on that house, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, cool. How's it going? He's like, good. He's like, do you have any cameras at your house? And I said, well, yes and no. Why? What's going on? He's like looking at all my stuff. And I'm like, you're kind of freaking me out,
Yeah,
man.
I know. It's like, you plan on coming back later?
And he says, he's like, dude, my house got vandalized. I think it was my daughter. My daughter's ex-boyfriend egged our house, ate through the paint, right? He's like, it's pretty bad. And I said, oh my God. And he's like, I just want to see if there's any camera evidence of his car driving by so I can get him, right? It happened like 9:30, not at 9:30 on a Friday night. And I said, dude, my stuff doesn't point anywhere out towards the street. It's all like
right on
everything in my driveway, and
doorbell camera maybe?
Doorbell camera is it doesn't point that way. Anyway, He's like, not a big deal. And he starts looking around. Hey man, you got a lot of toys here. You got a lot of cars. Are these all yours? And I said, yeah. And he's just like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then he goes, you're kind of a big guy, man. You're big. And he starts tapping me.
I'm sorry. That's like the total old guy thing. It's like personal bubbles don't exist. They're just like up in your business. Like
no. So he starts tapping me. He goes,
okay.
He goes, you're a big guy. You're a big guy. Hey, what's your name? I said, my name's Anthony. He's like, what do you see? You're like 6'1"? I'm like, yeah, about 6'1". He's like,
is he sizing me up for a fight all of a sudden?
And he goes, what, about 220, right? And I said, yeah, actually,
what's your reach?
I'm about 220. He's like, I know. He's like, I can tell a big guy when I see one. He's like, so that's when he starts telling me, he's like, I know a guy your size. He's like, you work out, you lift weights, and I'm like, what is this old guy getting to? Like, I know he's my neighbor.
First,
right?
I thought you were going to rob me. Now you're hitting on me. I don't know where this is going.
I don't know where he's going with this. But the only thing I knew about this guy is that his daughter actually drives a Ford Focus ST, a red one that has a really cool like blow-off valve. And I asked him about it. I was like, "That's my daughter. Yeah. Her boyfriend is a total dick. Basically, egg my shit, egg my crap." And so whatever it was just really funny. But we kind of talked about the neighborhood. He kept talking about my size, and then he asked me what I did for a living, and I told him I work for the rag company, do marketing. He's like, oh, you're a computer guy. You do the computers and all that. And I'm like, oh, kind of, not really. And I said, what do you do? He's like, I'll show you what I do. Anthony, hey, I'm gonna show you what I do. I
love these kind of guys.
So he's like, I'm gonna show you what I do. He's like, he kept just a lot of hands, right?
A whole lot of like.
That's how my buddy Rudy is. That brought me my stump.
A lot of touching, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll show you what I do. So he goes to his car. He grabs something. He's like, hold on. He pulls out this. It's like a postcard looking thing, and it's just a picture. It's a black and white picture, and he goes, look at that. Check that out. And it's a boxers, right, fighting, right? And he's got and he's holding up this box. He's holding up this boxer thing, and he's like, "See that? You see that?" And I said, "Yeah, boxers." He's like, that guy right there. What's his name? And I say, I honestly, dude, I have no idea. And he goes, come on. He's like, come on. What do you know this guy? You know this guy? I'm like, no. He's like,
it's like prize fighters.
He's like the grill guy.
Oh,
I'm like,
George Foreman.
I'm like, the grill guy. He's like George. I'm like, he's like Foreman, and I'm like, he's like, Anthony, come on, man. George Foreman, you know. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that is George Foreman, right? And then he moves his finger over to the other guy. He's like, who's that guy? And I said, dude, I have no idea. He goes,
me.
Anthony, it's me. That's me. And it's him punching George Foreman in the face. Right?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's him boxing, punching George Foreman in the face. He's like, look at him, look at him, look at me, look at me. And I look at his face, and he's bald now. And I'm like, that's you? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, wait, you punched George Foreman in the face? He's like, heck yeah, I did, man. He's like, I punched him good. And he's like,
it's so good.
I lost that fight, but he's like, I punched him good. He's like, I got him. I said,
no.
what the heck? He's like, he flips it over and it says, Jimmy Ellis Insurance, I'll fight for you. It's auto insurance. He's an
Wow.
auto insurance broker, right? And that's his
Nice.
business card.
This is like a
amazing.
Bizarro, Better
And
Call
so
Saul kind
awesome.
of guy, but
So
former
he was just
prize
all
fighter.
jacked up, dude. And he didn't even care about his house getting egged anymore.
Yeah.
He just wanted to ask me more. He's like, what do you do? He's like, you're a big guy. You ever fight? I'm like, no. He's like, man, I'm a ball player. I played football. He's like, I played for Boise State. And then he's like, I played for Boise State. He said he played for the freaking Raiders, right?
Yeah. Whoa.
And then he got into boxing, right? His first prize fight was with George Foreman.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yeah.
How old would you guess this guy is?
He's got to be in his late 50s or early 60s, right?
So, like, when he played for the Raiders, what years would he have played?
No idea.
Probably
man.
in the 70s.
No idea. It
'Cause that was
was in
when they were good.
California, but he played for the Raiders. I don't know what he did, but he's a big guy.
Yeah.
But he basically just told me, he's like, hey man, I played ball, I did all this. He's like, first fight, he's like $500,000, and I lost. And he's like, it was in Reno. You guys can look at the pictures. His name's Jimmy Ellis, right? I think James Ellis is what his name is,
Fascinating.
right? I couldn't believe it was a thing until finally we talked about all sorts of stuff, and he just left on a good note, super pumped to be talking
Yeah.
about me.
That's cool.
Said, hey, let's get back in the gym together. He's like, I go to this place. He goes to the same freaking gym I go to, right? I couldn't believe it. And he's like, I'll see you there, Anthony. He's like, get back into it, right? He's like, let's get big. And I
Yes.
said,
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God.
Oh.
He's gonna be the guy when I get my ass kicked someday, right? I'm gonna say, Jimmy, I need you to train me for this upcoming fight. He's going to be my Rocky situation.
Chase chickens. And
So anyway, dude, it was a whole funny situation. Really cool guy.
G. Davis is George K.O. Jimmy
Yeah.
Ellis back in the day.
Yeah. That they think he might have.
you
I think
go.
he's like, he buckled me. He got me. He's like, but I still got $500,000. And I said, I bet you did, man. And so it was on HBO.
Man. I guess you can watch.
So he's my neighbor.
awesome.
Funniest freaking thing, dude.
Oh,
Totally
wow.
made
and
my
he's rolling
day.
in a PT Cruiser.
Dude, he's
I was
rolling
gonna
a
say,
PT
yeah.
Cruiser. It
Choice.
was crazy, man.
awesome.
It was really cool though. Really nice guys.
Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast from if you haven't already. We really appreciate those, and it gets us out in front of more people. And that's what we want. We want to spread the word, have some fun while we do it. And of course, this Thursday, Q&A Thursday
Yeah.
as always, so we'll be doing that too. We'll catch you then. And guys, have a great week. We'll see you in a few days.
See
See ya.
ya.